Having a basic education increases your earning potential, and it's also good for the economy. If companies have more skilled workers, they produce more goods, supposedly higher quality. The World Literary Association estimates that illiteracy costs the global economy more than $1 trillion every single year. The UN says there are more than 770 million adults worldwide who lack basic reading and writing skills which are needed to make informed choices in their daily lives. Illiteracy can keep millions stuck also in a cycle of poverty with unstable, low-paying jobs, and 2/3 of the illiterate population are women. Now, for more on this, I'm joined by Annamaria Lusardi, professor at George Washington University's Business School. You have probably written and read a few books in your lifetime, I am sure. This is a global problem. We talk about technology, we talk about all kinds of things about education, but this is the basic fundamental building block, reading and writing. Let me ask you, why has it become such a problem that seemingly can't be resolved?
It's a difficult problem. We are, in a globalized economy, and we need different skills. I really do think that each country, as you said, should really think of building these basic skills. Everybody needs them today to live in today's society. But it's a hard problem to address.
Okay, it's hard, it's difficult, but I am sure that there are some countries doing better than others. Yeah. Which programs around the world that you see work best?
If you look at the evidence, for example, from the OECD, PISA, Program for International Student Assessment, we see that, often and consistently throughout time, the Nordic countries have done really well in terms of both their level of education and also their level of economic development. And I have to say, more recently, we see Asia coming up in the top 5 countries. So as we think of this new world and increasing growth, perhaps some of the countries are really getting the message that education is important.
They're doing a little bit better. A couple of things I want to just ask you. Private business and government. In a lot of countries, the private business, it's led either by one of the two, depending on the country. Do the programs have to be done together, or can the government just do it unilaterally on its own, or vice versa?
I think it's best when they are done together, but I think it's very important for government to really think of the young and really provide education in the school. We need to start with the young, prepare the new generation for this different world. And I think it's important for the firms, as they need this skilled labor you were mentioning earlier, that perhaps they think of the adult population, continue the training and education that has started in the school and continuing that in the workplace. So there is, I think, a really important way for the two to collaborate.
I mentioned something earlier before the interview about the illiteracy among women.
Yes.
2/3 are women, and I have to ask the question, why?
It's a burning issue, and often our research is not able to indicate why women are so much left behind, given also the important role of women in the countries. For example, the help they can provide to children, and we do see the evidence that illiterate women are less likely to have children who survive, are less likely to have children who have good education. So I think this is one of the most difficult problems that needs a lot of attention. And I think by directing a lot of our effort to women, we might actually solve problems which are bigger than improving the well-being of women themselves.
So we obviously have a lot of people watching from around the world, and if they want to help, they want to give, what organization do you recommend they go to? How does one help if you're a company or an individual person?
I actually think it's important to start from the community, right? To your own school. I would say start building, be an ambassador of literacy for your school. Make sure your school does a good job. And if you are a business leader in that community, make sure that you provide some support to your school. I think if we start little and everybody can build from their own community, we are going to potentially grow actually a strong system.
Well, I can tell that you are very hopeful this will get resolved. Professor Annamaria Lusardi, a professor at George Washington University's Business School. Thank you very much for your thoughts and guidance on this much